WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Today I'm in Ireland, J Corry The Battalion. So this is brand new, May 5th, 2019. It came on the market. You see a little bit of the Cinco de Mayo here with the skeleton and the face and the colors and so on. This is actually an Irish whiskey that has been, it says cask influenced by mezcal and tequila casks. Yay! Interesting enough, just last week, the Scottish Whisky Association actually approved the use of mezcal and also tequila cask for Scottish whiskey, along with maybe 5, 10, 15 different other casks. It still has to be oak, but it doesn't have to be now the sherry, the port, the blah, blah, blah. It can also be maybe muscatel. Diageo actually did an experiment with that, and they were slapped down by the Scotch Whisky Association, but apparently there's been a turnaround in their beliefs, policies, and so on, and they've now opened up that possibility here for Scotch makers to use this. Now, in the Irish whiskey industry, there are no such limiting restrictions as in the Scotch Whisky Association, and therefore they were allowed to use this. Louise is the founder of Chapelgate, and Chapelgate brought out the J Corry brand. We have the Gale, we have the Flintlock, we have the Blender's Bonder's Blend. I had the number 2, the 60 bottles of that in Germany, and also now I have here the Battalion. Why is it called Battalion? I'm so sorry, all of my American friends. Irish immigrants actually were in America during the Mexican War, 1846 to 1848. Maybe the Alamo, we remember something like that. Well, the Irish didn't fight on the American side, they fought on the Mexican side. Boo! And they were so vicious and so successful, they were actually called the San Patricos Battalion, Spanish for the St. Patrick Battalion. And so I'm not sure if this is going to be a hit in the States or not, but especially Texas is not going to like this whiskey. Whiskey base number 132167. So what we have here is we have 40% of this is 13-year-old single malt whiskey that has been finished for 7 months in mezcal. I have to say this correct. Mezcal is just Spanish basically for schnapps, for mezcal casks. What I didn't know, mezcal is basically the category, just like whiskey is a category, and tequila is a subcategory of mezcal, just like bourbon is a subcategory of whiskey. And so 30% of a 9-year-old grain was finished for 7 months in mezcal. And then 30% of 9-year-old grain was finished in tequila casks. So basically there was one tequila cask, one mezcal, and one other mezcal, and they were just then married together. And today you have 700 bottles of this at 0.5 liters. Over here in Europe, this is 60 pounds, 60 euros, however you look at it. So about $75 for a half-liter bottle. So this is batch 1. Batch 2 will probably make it to the States one day, but this was just exclusive for Germany and the UK/Ireland. Yeah, my nose says this is a very, very interesting, nice whiskey. Now, I have a problem. I've had tequila before, you know, the tequila shot and the salt and the lemon. I was told we introduced that practice because the tequila was so terrible. There was no other way of keeping it down except for doing that tradition. Now, mezcal can be an excellent, old, very extra aged, years in casks and so on that can turn into a nice brown, golden color even. And it can be handmade, it can be crafted, and just not always made in a industrial manner as tequila is made. It's very regional, just like we have a champagne. Or cognac, only certain regions can actually produce the spirit. And of course, they're all in Mexico. And so I have never had mezcal. I have no idea how mezcal really tastes, and so I'm a little bit at a disadvantage here at this moment, I must admit. What I really love doing is comparing whiskeys. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to compare this, the Battalion with the Mezcal and Tequila influence, with Lambie whiskey. This is a single malt, and this is finished in cognac casks. Now, this is a really interesting whiskey. I don't know if it's made it to the States or not yet. It's been over here in Europe now for about the last 2 years. I remember going to the Interwhiskey and meeting the European or the global ambassador, and she basically hugged me and said, "Thank you." I was like, "What? You're one of the few people who've actually done a video about this at all." I was like, "Okay, you're welcome," but yeah, no one knows about it in Germany either. I just bought it on a whim, and yeah, that's the way it is. All right, so there's a special little type of a very clove type of honey, together with a little bit of aloe vera, together with a vanilla type of porridge. That's what I'm getting here. I don't know if that's a good description of mezcal. I'll be able to pronounce that one day. Ooh, I love my cognac whiskeys. Very, very embarrassing moment. I did about 5 different whiskeys that were finished all in cognac. And I was like, "Oh, I love this. This is so fantastic. Yay, 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 yay." And then suddenly I realized I've never had cognac. Never. Never had brandy, never had cognac, never had that before. And so I actually had to go out and buy samples of good cognac, XO and so on. Then I tried them and I was like, "Oh," and then I went back to whiskey. I was like, now I know what I'm tasting. And it's so good if you have a good sherry finish, if you have a good port finish, if you have a good rum finish, if you have a good Bordeaux finish, if you have a good whatever finish. It's great to actually know the original product, to know what it's doing to your whiskey and how it's affecting that. So if you like Eagle Rare, no, I'm sorry, not Eagle Rare, your Angel's Envy, which is finished in a port cask, try to have some port. Try to have some ruby port or some tawny port. If you really love the, once again, Angel's Envy rye and the rum casks, try some good rum. Not the Bacardi white stuff, the brown stuff, yeah? And try to really figure out what's going on there. It is amazing what you can do there, what you can find out. Good job. Please do. Oh, this is nice. All right, so the first thing I must mention is I really don't get that grain moment. It doesn't really taste like a blend. If you would have said, "Hey, this is a 10-year-old single malt," I would have went, "Okay, yeah, from Ireland, great." And towards the end, there's this nice, sweet, I'm going to say oily, velvety moment. The entire mouthfeel is it has a great viscosity, very, very thick, very oily. But towards the end, I get this, as I said, just in the nose, and the palate actually just line up together. Aloe vera, a vanilla type of porridge, as well as a type of very, very sweet type of honey. Very, very good. Well done, well done. I must admit, this is a great whiskey. I'm going to give this actually a B-. Over here, the Lambie. Lambie is a very typical, for me, the Cooley moment. They were not using the very, very best casks at the beginning. They bought them. They've been 7-10 years old. And of course, these second or third fill bourbon barrels. So first real bourbon, first fill in Ireland, second and third fill. They're getting tired. And so what they do is actually they take something else and finish and try to pep it up at the end. And they did a very good job of this. But yet it's very, very evident where this whiskey came from for me. And it's okay, but it's nothing compared to this. This is a great whiskey. 41%, 700 bottles. What I did not do in my German video, what I like to do now in my English video is actually play with a little bit of water. Just a few drops. I love playing with water and whiskey. Ooh. Cucumber water. Also something I've never ever said with a whiskey before. It's a faint. It's still in there with the vanilla. It's still in there with the aloe vera, but you're getting that vegetal, that cucumber moment. That's interesting. I like. Mm. Adding those few drops of water made it a tiny little less oily. Took away a little bit from the viscosity. Of course, it diluted it and added a little bit of a flavor of the spiciness, of the pepperness of the alcohol. Um, it's still a B minus in my book. Very, very well done. Value for money. I'm going to go for a C to C minus. Half liter bottle, $75, 60 euros. Uh, Now, would I buy this just to have it on the shelf? Probably not. Now, I'm a J Corry fanboy. I try to buy a bottle of everything. Actually, I try to buy two bottles of everything. I do one with a bottle share. This was gone within like 2 days, like 48 hours, boom. Not a problem as a zero point 0.5. And the second bottle I have over here is just in my collection. One day I'm going to actually have hopefully to have all of the J Corry bottles there. Going to be a lot of money invested in that sooner or later, but that's something I'd like to have, and I'd like to just have that collection and maybe one day donate it to a museum, or one day sell it off for a good chunk of money, whatever. But just following the history of this company is something that I like to do. And thank you very much, Louise, for this wonderful bonding experience that you've done as a Irish whiskey bonder there in Ireland. So, WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American. My question of the day is, what do you personally think about the SWA, the Scottish Whisky Association's loosening of the requirements for the casks used for single malt Scotch whiskey? Is it okay to have mezcal? Is it okay to have tequila casks? Is it okay to have maybe other types of wines and berries and spirits and so along, as long as they were in a certain type of oak beforehand? Is that something you're going to go yay, or is it something you're going to go nay? Could you please write your personal opinions in the comment? I personally think, hey, why not? Yeah, I think the SWA restricts almost too much. Look at John Glazer and his Compass Box company that's actually had a lot of runs in here with the SWA. And I think it's great that they're actually not going with the times, but actually allowing people to more and more go with the times here. WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany, tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Batch number 1, 700 bottles, rare and exotic. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe. My videos come out on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And every once in a while there'll be a live stream thrown in there. Bye-bye.